From the storied fairways of Valderrama, welcome to day one of LIV Golf Andalucia and the Club 54 pre-round show. The stars of golf have arrived to southern Spain, and with the season-long points race entering its closing stretch, every swing matters. All eyes are on the home country heroes, Jon Rahm and Sergio Garcia, and they are ready to ignite the crowd. And if that wasn't enough, the Open Championship looms around the corner, so get ready. Welcome to LIV Golf Andalucia. I'm your host, Christian Crosby, joined by three-time PGA Tour winner and 4 Aces champion, Pat Perez, and your favorite LIV Golf analyst, my best friend forever, Jerry Fultz.
My favorite for sure.
I can feel the love.
Look at the love here. We are live from Real Club Valderrama here at LIV Golf Andalucia, getting ready for round one, and I couldn't be more excited. So many incredible storylines, but the star of this week isn't any golfer. It's actually the golf course this week.
Yeah, it's a starring role. It's a starring role every time we come here. It's one of the best and most challenging golf courses in the world. It's held at the highest level of reverence amongst the greatest players in the world who have competed here, and many of them have competed here a lot. It is a masterpiece.
Pat, how you feeling?
I'm windburned already. Wind just kicked up this morning. I drove around this morning. It's it's going to be exciting today, I'll tell you that much. You're going to see some scores.
Well, we need to talk about some of our challengers who have an edge on the competition, starting with Jon Rahm, home country hero. He's here. He had his first finish outside of the top 10 last week in Dallas. Let's talk about that a little bit. What's his game looking like? What's working? What's not working? How are we expecting him to play out here at Valderrama?
Well, first of all, his first ever non-top 10 and his worst finish in his LIV golf career, it was 11th, so it's not that bad. He counts his success by championships and wins, though, and he hasn't had one yet this week or this year. Second around the green, that's going to be huge here. Second off the tee, that's going to even be more important when you see his season-long stats. Now, the short approach, 26, middle of the pack, that's also a key metric here this week, and that's going to have to be cleaned up, and it's going to be tough today.
He's going to be fine, though. I mean, he's Jon Rahm.
He's not washed up yet.
No, he doesn't particularly like playing here too much, but you know, he needs to be ready. He loves to be here. He's so excited to be back in Spain playing here, so he's ready to go.
How about 4 Aces member Patrick Reed coming in hot after securing his first LIV title last week in his hometown, Dallas? How can he keep the heat going? What's he got to do this week? What's it looking like for him?
He told me about an hour ago, he's not hitting it that great, but the plus for him, he doesn't really have to hit regular golf shots today. He knows it's going to be, he's going to have to work. So you see right there, he hit it up the toe. He's not that comfortable right now, which is hard to believe because it's only been a week. But this is more of a shot maker's course. He's a great shot maker, and if he doesn't hit it that great anyway, he's so good around the green scrambling that it will be able to save him today.
He's one of the best at limiting the damage and avoiding bogeys. Huge metric on this course throughout history.
How about Sergio Garcia, a true Valderrama hero who knows this course better than anybody? He's won here 4 times, 3 on the DP World Tour, once last year. He's the defending champion of LIV Golf Andalucia, but he hasn't been playing his best golf lately.
No.
What are you expecting? Is this a good moment for Sergio to heat up again?
Well, it's what he needs, I think, because 17 events he's played here as a professional, 16 times in the top 10. So you got to have the feeling, even though he is really struggling with his approach play, his iron play, his ball striking, essentially the latter half of our season thus far, he needs to turn it around. And this is a type of course where you don't hit any standard shots. Every shot requires some imagination, some creativity. No standard driving range shots around this golf course. So that could break him out of the ball striking funk that he's in right now. And if he's going to go in to Royal Portrush next week with any chance of notching that second major, Pat, he needs to do it with confidence. He doesn't have it right now, but he needs to manufacture it here.
No, he has, throughout my career, if I wasn't playing that well, but I got to the course that I had some success on, I played well at, like Riviera. I never won, but even though I wasn't playing best, I knew the shots around there. Sergio knows the shots around here better than anybody, so he will rely on that knowledge he's had in the last 20 years here to get him through. He knows the shots, he knows where to hit it, where not to hit it, what the wins are. He's played in all the wins here. He's going to have enough knowledge about what he's doing today to get it done.
Jerry, you mentioned Sergio going to the Open next week. He qualified through his standings here at LIV Golf. Let's take a look now at the individual point standings here at LIV Golf. Sergio just making the cut. 5th in the standings, 78 flat points. He held on to it in Dallas. Jerry, what do you see?
Well, I see a ton of guys who have, well, they're just world-class players, top to bottom. You see a little bit of surprise out of Munoz this year. Herbert, about where I would expect him, the kind of golf he's been playing. But you look at those top ones. Waco Neiman needs to get it done with the putter this week. That's really statistically hurting him right now in the events where he doesn't win. He's only made, what, 6 points in the events he hasn't won, and 160 points in the events he has won, the even-numbered events. Bryson DeChambeau, by analytics, he is the man to beat this week. He is extremely high up in all the key metrics going into the week. And of course, Jon Rahm is Jon Rahm. He's playing at home, as Pat said. And there's absolutely no way he's not going to figure into this in 2 days' time.
Well, here's a name that was at the top of that list, Joaquin Niemann. He's currently the first in our standings with 4 wins in the last 9 tournaments. But what is going to be his biggest challenge this week going into Valderrama?
Well, it won't be his ball flight today because he hits it low. He hits such great shots. It is, like Jerry said, it's this club right here. When he doesn't win or doesn't play well, this club is the one that lets him down. But his ball flight and the way he hits it so solid in this win, he can keep as low as anybody I've ever seen play the game. So he has an advantage there of keeping it out of the wind, which is going to be #1 today, is keeping it out of the wind.
Can't talk about the contenders without bringing up Bryson DeChambeau. You mentioned him a little bit, Jerry. Seems like all of the stats line up pretty well with this golf course.
Yeah.
Are we expecting to see Bryson do what Bryson always seems to do?
You have a disproportionate number of short approach shots at this course compared to our league average and professional golf's average, so that's going to be a key for him. In Dallas, he was pretty sloppy with the wedges, actually quite sloppy with the wedges, and in this win, they're going to be really tough to calculate. It's going to be based more on field than anything else, and he plays a scientifically based game. That's, I mean, to try and figure out those calculations is going to be next to impossible. So he's going to have to kind of reinvent himself as a childhood player again and imagine some shots out there. And I don't know if he's done that in a while.
I think top of the year, it was like Jon Rahm, Joaquin Niemann. Now it seems Bryson is taking over. Is this a guy that you think could win the entire season this year?
Of course. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's only up to 3 guys anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think, even as Reed winning last week, even if he won this week, I just don't see those other guys not getting any points in each event.
We're going to talk more about this in just a moment, but for now, let's toss it over to our very own Rachel Drummond as she's on the range getting all the inside action. Rachel, to you.
Okay, so I know they've spoken about a lot, you know, already on the pre-show, but I can't tell you how tough these conditions are going to be. Adam, one of the caddies, said that he actually gave up after 6 holes in checking where the pins are going to be out there, because all you have to do is hit the greens today, and they're small enough as it is. Right, let's have a little look at the warm-up. Lee Westwood off the back of qualifying for the British Open Championship. Ian Poulter knows this course very well. He's won round here. Oh, he's in the zone. I'll let him hit. That was danger zone then. Westy, just quickly, you're playing some of the best golf at the moment. What do you put it down to?
I'm putting a lot better, swinging it pretty good. You know, just playing nicely, practicing a bit more efficiently. Got good thoughts and good drills that I'm doing.
That sounds like a lot of good things, Westy. Yeah. Play well, we like that. Right, I've just seen George Furbank, England international rugby player. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Now, you're a leader for Northampton Saints. Can you tell us, you know, have you got any intel for the 3 captains here?
They've probably got more intel than I have. No, I think leadership's a lot about knowing your players and how to get the best out of them, and I'm sure they know each other's games and their own games inside out, so yeah, they're looking good.
And you watched them yesterday. How good were they in the warm-up?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit surreal and mad watching them play, to be honest. The way they strike the ball so cleanly, and they're looking good today. I think the wind picking up is probably going to help them as well. So yeah, hopefully they go well.
I'll give them a pep talk.
Yeah,
good job. Right, let's keep moving. Who else we got here? Ciao. Gonzo. One of the main men. You know this course better than anywhere.
I do know it, and believe me, I wouldn't like to be out there today. It's going to be tough.
What's a good score?
Well, I take level par right now. I mean, what do I have to sign for 71?
Just take the cash, run, level par. Thank you, Gonzo. Who else we got here? Let's have a little look at the Smash. Taylor Gooch playing some amazing golf. We've got Wes Nelson here. Can you sing us a song?
Pardon?
Can you sing us a song?
Oh, I've got a couple for you. I've got a couple.
You played in the Pro-Am with
I did.
Sebastian. What did you learn from him?
So short game yesterday. I struggle. I'm a one-trick pony with short game. I'm almost trying to put it every time. He told me to loosen up, release through. Special. He really helped me out yesterday.
And just for everyone at home, how tough is this golf course?
Oh, easy, mate. It's very, very, very difficult. It humbled me. But these guys are incredible. Watching them hit the ball now is a joke, but it's tough. It's quick.
You've heard that from Wes. He knows what he's on about. Have a good day. I think because it's windy, let's try and finish with a stinger. Because I'm going to say there's going to be some sting golf shots. Let's get Louis. He loves a stinger. Louis. My man. How windy? How much are you going to be playing that low stinger off the tee today?
I don't know. This is probably not the ideal golf course for this win, but it's a good preparation for next week.
And what would be a good score? What would you be happy with?
Anything, I would take anything around level par.
Level par, guys. That's all. Louis giving the outro there. Level par's a good score today. Bogey avoidance is key. I can't wait to see what happens.
Big thanks to Rachel there. 19 LIV players have qualified to participate in the Open next week, and they all had different ways of getting there. Let's talk through the contenders as we look at this list of qualifiers. Jerry, we have some big dogs on this list who may currently be looking to get back in good form, especially for next week. Thoughts on that?
We always have a bunch of big dogs showing up for the majors, but collectively, these 19 players are the best representation of the best of what LIV Golf has to offer. We have 15, 16, 17 of the players I think should be in pretty much every major, and eventually will be. But nonetheless, it's going to be exciting to watch them all play next week. In terms of preparation from this week to next week, there's nothing similar about the golf course. There's a style of golf that's needed to be played. The only thing that is going to be very much similar is the fact that every shot has your full attention and there is danger lurking around every corner. It's that way at every Open Championship, and it's that way on this course specifically.
We have a few of our guys who also just qualified, starting with Lee Westwood, for example. Just talk about how incredible it is for him to still be playing such great golf.
3 years older than you. 3 years older than you, and he qualifies for the Open.
Yeah, medalist too. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome.
He's so excited about it too.
But his game's trending too. His game is absolutely trending in the right direction. And you know, when you talk to these guys who you think are in the sunset of their career, they don't believe it. They still think that Phil Mickelson has proved to them anything can happen at a later age.
Yes.
You also got guys like Dean Burminster, Lucas Herbert, who's going there. But what about guys like Brooks Koepka and Cam Smith, who may be looking to heat things up next week? What do you think's best for them? How big would it be for them?
I think for me, it's a crapshoot for those guys. I mean, and then you got DJ. Well, he hasn't made a cut in a major yet, so we'll see.
That's for certain.
We're about to get blown away up here. I mean, it was tough when we started, Pat. With these kind of gusts out there today, we're going to see some clubs flying, I think.
I would love to talk more about this course and, of course, these conditions. Pat, you were making an interesting point to me off camera yesterday about the best way to prepare for this wind is to actually, you know, practice in the wind if you can, obviously. But how powerful and how much will this wind affect things today?
Oh, it's going to be, I'm telling you, you're going to see it. The guys that played yesterday afternoon actually got a little bit lucky because the wind was starting to pick up. So at least some of you guys got 9 holes of this already, so they already know what's going on. A lot of these guys have played this course enough, but I'm telling you, I just hope they don't, I hope they got it set up right because the greens are running 12.5. So the big danger is number 11. If it starts to get too windy, balls can roll off that green. That's the only one I'm really worried about. The other ones are kind of sheltered, but it's going to be, the wind's going to play a factor on every green as well, putting. That makes it even tougher.
Jerry, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't, it's hard to add to that. It's just, it's going to be brutal out there. It's going to be windy again tomorrow. Maybe not quite this windy, because this is even harder than what they projected. We were 10 to 20 sustained with gusts up to 30, maybe even 33. That last gust that almost knocked the roof off this had to be 40, 45 miles per hour. So it could be even stronger than forecast, and it's going to wreak havoc out there. We might be looking at one of the slower rounds. You know, we play our rounds in 4.5 hours in LIV Golf. With 54 players, it's not that difficult, and there's a big impetus focus on it. This could be one of our longest rounds ever. It's going to take forever to pull a club.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is at least it's straight out of the West. It's going to maintain that. But again, you know, the caddy's going to have a hard job today. You know, exactly knowing where West is. It seems like it's going to swirl. Again, we were talking about yesterday, Kristen, the trees don't really show you much here. They blow kind of like bushes. There's not big trees that lean a certain way. So, you know, they're just going to have to trust that it's out of that West, and, you know, it's going to be tough. It's
challenging, but definitely entertaining. And
oh, it'll be entertaining for us.
For us, yeah.
Not to, they'll be ready for sleep when they get off this course this afternoon.
We'll get some final thoughts from you in a moment, Jerry. But first, earlier this week, Suan Hang got to catch up with Open champion Louis Oosthuizen on the course. Let's take a look.
Wind's going to be on.
All right, so
we might have a little.
I think we have a little technical difficulties.
Take over.
But you were just so posing in that camera for about a minute there.
He really likes that camera.
Sometimes you just got to give that look, let the people know you got things going on.
You do have a face for television, for
sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
No, you really do.
Thanks.
Some of us are too ugly for radio. Yeah. No, we were out on a boat the other day, and 11 of us, and it was Christian and his camera the whole time.
Of course.
Yeah, it was like 12 of us.
His content's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So good.
Jerry was the content that I was capturing, by the way.
Yeah.
We won't get into that.
Jerry tipping over a jet ski.
The man that can on. I heard you were on a jet ski.
Yeah.
I got to see what's wrong with it. And they let you drive.
They let me
I heard
drive
someone was on the back.
tipping it over.
It was pretty impressive. I got to give it to Jerry. I did.
I'm still sore.
So who do you like leading today? Who
do I like leading today? I mean, all the metrics point to Bryson. I like Waco.
Yeah,
I like Waco for the reasons you say. His
really
ball strike, his ability to hit it head high. And you know who we haven't mentioned, two players we haven't mentioned also, Carlos Ortiz and David Puig. They also have that ability to manufacture shots.
How about the guy's number 6 on the list, Sebastian Munoz? We never talked about him. The guy's been 6 almost the whole season.
Yeah.
We rarely show him, talk about him.
Yeah,
He's another one that can fight. That's the one thing that's great about Torquay. They all can hit a low.
Yeah.
You know, I actually think, I'm hoping that Mito can get his stuff together. He hits it so low. You know, he really needs to get a boost.
And you talk about that. We're getting to the point in the season we haven't mentioned yet. I'm sure it'll make the body of our show today. There's only 12 individual rounds left for some of these guys to keep their job. Mito being first and foremost of the ones we've mentioned.
Exactly. There's a bunch of guys looking for some action.
One storyline I think is pretty cool. You have the Crushers coming into this week, 3 wins in a row. They're going for now a 4-peat. But at the start of this season, we had Fireballs GCs crank this up. 3 wins in a row. Now we have Sergio Garcia returning home, other Fireball players as well. I think this could be a good time for that team to lock in and perhaps be a team to reckon with this week. I know Legion would probably look good here. Obviously, the Crushers are going to do well. But thoughts on Fireball GC? Do you think as a team, as a unit, they have a chance here at Valderrama?
Yeah, I don't like how the Crushers games fit this golf course.
No,
I mean, even though most of the guys on that team have had good finishes here, Honorbahn losing in a playoff last year. But I like Torquay around here a lot. They haven't won it forever.
I do too. I think you might get a surprise. I mean, today's the kind of day where, you know, anybody can just kind of show up. It's such a day that's going to be so hard that you don't really know. And again, because it's not that long, so the long drivers don't really have the advantage. Because I don't think anybody's going to be able to get to 17 today and 2, which is the power play hole. So that's going to be a wedge contest. You're going to see so many different shots. I was just telling Jerry on 17, you know, guys are going to have anywhere from 70 to 120 yards. That's got that back pin, which is so hard. If you land 8 yards short of that pin, you're going to spin back in the water. If you try to challenge, you flight it too easy or too much in the wind, it's going to land on the back edge and go long. Could even go in a bunker. From there, you can go in the water. So this course is going to be challenging. I don't know who's going to be in the end, of today, but it's going to be. It could be anybody. I mean, it really could.
2 under.
I think 2 under, and that is phenomenal playing.
I'll take the over, actually. I think I'll take the over.
2 under is going to be. Like I said, I think you're going to see someone 6 over through 6. Unfortunately, just because if you start on the wrong stretch of this course and you get it going sideways, and then what you have to look forward to after that is not being able to come back. That's the hard part. There's no let-up anywhere.
It's the most important course we play we've ever played in keeping the ball in the fairway. That's going to be the fairways are single file fairways, and you're playing it with 30-mile-per-hour.
I mean, number 18 today is pumping off the left, and it's only 19 yards wide in where you're supposed to hit it. So, and you have to, on 8, you're going to be challenging in the trees today just to hit the fairway.
Well, as much as I know you guys love to stare at our beautiful faces here, we're going to toss it over to our feature with Sue-Ann Hang and Louis Oosthuizen. Take a look.
Let's talk about Royal Portrush. You're heading there next week. The last time you played there in the Open was 2019, and you came in tight 20th. Going back there, now, is there any specific shot? I know this is a very different golf course, but any specific shot or any specific thing that you're working on in preparation of going into next week?
Luckily, it's windy this week, so probably with a driver, try and hit a bit of a lower ball flight, get my sort of flight back that I normally use a lot of the Open, which is a low little cut. But that's about the only thing.
Sure, you had to hit a few of those at St Andrews.
Yes, St Andrews, aim left and cut away. So yeah, but you know, weather doesn't look great next week. So again, any major is a lot of mental side of the game to just keep you in it. But yeah, it's going to be a tough week.
And finally, I know that was a difficult finish to Dallas, and often these things teach all of us some lessons. What's your reflection of that week?
I played good. I mean, I did really well to get in the playoff. I played solid the whole Sunday. I had some opportunities, you know, to finish 8-9 under really. But I did well at the end to make it. In regulation on 18, I did exactly the same thing on the driver. I can't aim it anywhere else the way I hit my driver. I aim it on the edge of that water and try and just slide it off it, and both of them I just got under it and hit the draw. So everyone's asking me, do you aim in the water? I'm like, well, not in the water, but I mean, I aimed it just right of it. I just got under it, just a bad swing at the wrong time. So.
Well, like you said, a lot of positives to take out of that week. Louis, thank you so much for your time. Listen, the last time you won the Open was 2010. You won in Spain that year as well, 4 months before that. So maybe this is all good omen for you.
I hope so. Yeah. It'll be great.
Play well this week.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Sue-Ann there. What an incredible feature there. Now, I want to bring back up some guys we were just talking about earlier. Crushers GC, who are currently the team to beat. They're actually going for the LIV golf record with 4 team wins in a season, and it's very much possible for these guys. 4 different guys, 4 different walks of life, all playing incredible golf together. What's going on with these Crushers, Pat?
They just play. Again, they're 4 completely different players, but they're not worried about that. They play their own game, and at the end of Sunday, they seem to all have it together. I mean, they're one of the best Sunday teams that we've had, because they all play incredible. Like the Aces had a 4-shot lead, and then they wound up winning by 11. On Sunday on a hard course. They just all play great. They all know their games. I think this is another good course for them.
If you're Crushers, are you worried about anybody else at this point, or are you just locked in, worried about yourself?
There's 3 teams. There's 3 teams. I think there's still going to be 3 teams in the end, which is Fireballs, Legion, and them. And in the end, we'll see. All
right. Well, earlier this week, our analyst and local expert Gonzalo Fernandez Castaño met up with Andrew Santino for a fun twist on this challenging course. Take a look. It looks like we have ran into some technical issues there once again. There's a beautiful
shot.
Look
how awesome this course is. I mean, see how all the different dog legs. This is where, in the wind, you can't tell by obviously the trees or the wind's blowing, but you can see all the dog legs. And this is what makes this course so difficult. The dog leg can be opposite of the wind. So now you've got to work it in the trees and then hope that the wind brings it back, or vice versa. You've got to work. It's going to be so cool to see today. I can't wait. This is such an iconic joint.
As someone who's played on this course, and you know we've spoken a lot about it. We call this the Augusta of Europe. Can you even go deeper and explain, you know, how did this course get that reputation? It sounds almost like it's one of the most challenging courses.
Well, for Europe, you know, they've had so many Ryder Cups. They've had the DP World events and European events. It goes all the way back to, you know, so far back where all the big Spanish players have played here in major tournaments. You know, Westy played a Ryder Cup here. You know, it's just been phenomenal. I mean, it's stood the test of time. It hasn't been really, you know, any length added to it. So it's just hard. I mean, it's just hard. It's up and down and side and all this wind today. It's such a great joint. There's a lot of fans out here today. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and back to the Crushers, we talked about them. You said if you're the Crushers, you're not going to be worried about another team at this current point as a unit. Is a four-peat in sight, and more importantly, Crushers, is this the team that we should get comfortable with saying might be the 20?
It could be.
20,
yeah. 100%. I still think John and his team are going to pull it together. You know, it depends on the two young kids. You know, Tom McKibben hasn't played here, so I don't know. And Caleb, he played here last year, but I don't think he played that great. You know, it's still hard to tell. I think Jerry was right. I think Torquay, ball striking wise, they have the best four ball striking wise to actually play well here. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so up in the air. These conditions make everything up in the air.
Now we have, we always like to ask you your 5 quick questions. Yep. I want predictions and I want true honesty. Unfiltered,
get that.
This is your moment to be unfiltered. Okay? All right, let's go through our questions. First question for you, pick to win individual, Pat.
Whew. I like Rahm. You know, I think it's about time. You know, it's so hard for me to go against a guy. I just don't know how Bryce is going to play in this win today. I just don't.
Well, we know you like Rahm, but is that your pick? Are you going with John Rahm?
My pick is John Rahm.
Okay, you're going with John Rahm. All right, team, who's getting it this week?
I still say the Crushers. I think they've got plenty of confidence. 3 in a row. They've shown it on 3 different courses. I think they're the team to beat this week.
All right, lowest live player at the Open.
John Rahm.
Baby.
John Rahm.
I like that answer.
He's due for an Open. His game. You know, he's European. He's due for that. He loves those kind of conditions. Cold, wind, none of that stuff bothers him. I think he's due.
It's actually funny that him placing in 11th is a thing,
yeah,
right?
It's a thing.
And
exactly.
He's been in top 10 that long. Do you think that kind of ignited John
it does.
a little bit?
What's ignited him is the fact he hasn't won yet. That is what really gets the fire under his, you know what, he is not happy about not winning out here. I can promise you. He thinks he should win 3 to 4 events, you know, a year. So.
Surprise performer of the week. Who's somebody we haven't spoken about?
I'm actually hoping for AK. AK has been trending. We haven't talked too much about him, but he's actually got the best strokes gained of anybody that started this year. He started terribly. He's gained up. He finished 25th in Dallas. You know, his ball flight is great. AK was so great back in the day. I'd love to see him get some form back. He's worked as hard as anybody on his game to get to where this position is. I'd love to see him have a great week.
I see him out on the range all the time.
He's up early. He gets out at 7. You know, he's got his family out with him. He's all about family now and golf. He's got his life together. I'm so excited to see how he's doing it. I'd really like to see him, you know, have a great week.
I got one more for you. Surprise performer at the Open next week.
Ooh.
We talked about maybe Cam Smith, maybe Brooks.
Those wouldn't really be surprises for me. I would say on that entire list would be like a John Catlin. That kind of player. Okay. You know, someone that really doesn't have a lot of major experience. The other guys have won. You know, so if they won again, it wouldn't really be that surprising for me. It's a guy that really hasn't played that well. I'd like to see Kokrak play well. You know, that would be kind of more of a surprise because he hasn't played that well in majors.
Who are you following today, Pat?
I've got Bryson and Charles Howell and Paul Casey.
How are those guys when you get to follow them around?
They're great. I mean, I've known the guys. I've known Paul, and I went to college with Paul in '98. You know, so I've known them forever. And Charles Howell, I played my whole life. You know, so I'm looking forward to him. I told him, I said, you better hit it straight. I'm going to be wearing your ass out.
That's incredible. All right, well, that's about it, Pat. That's all we got from you.
All right, awesome.
I do believe those answers were unfiltered. And fans, we want to thank you guys for watching and joining us here on the Club 54 pre-round show. Coming up, the main coverage. And of course, you'll see us here in the Club 54 post-round show.
Yes, you will.
Following that to talk about all of the fun that goes down here. The carnage that you see at LIV Golf Andalucia. Thanks for watching. We got one more word for you. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Peace.
And win.
We'll see you in the post.